Welcome back, our viewers. We're back online, and I hope you have been enjoying the podcast so far and picking one or two life lessons from it. So, I don't even know whether to call you pastor now or my...
all of the above now.
See, I don't want to sound too formal.
Okay, all right. No.
So, let's go back. So when
we finally got pregnant.
Yes, when the promise finally came, how did you feel? Do you even remember?
Of course, I remember the day we went. Remember, I traveled out.
Yes, you did.
Came back.
Yes.
And you told me
that I'm not my favorite.
That you're suspecting.
Yes.
And then you did your own test.
No, I didn't do tests. Okay. I was so afraid because all those while that I would think that I was pregnant, I used to do those tests. And the test would say negative. Okay. So this time around, I was so afraid. I didn't want to do it because I didn't want to see that negative. I didn't do the test.
We drove to the hospital.
Yes, you told me on phone. I told you on phone that I've missed my period. And I was counting it that this is like the third or fourth day. I'm supposed. He said, "Okay, don't worry, baby. Like when I come back, we'll go to the hospital straight
together
to go and do the test."
So I remember we drove to.
Do you remember the promise you made when we were going? You said, "Ma worry. Don't worry. If it is negative," because you're right. You said, "Don't worry. It will be positive in Jesus' name. But just in case it is negative, I will take you to Chinese." And that in itself, I was like, what is wrong with this man? So it is food. He said, we'll go to a Chinese. Just go and relax.
Just to,
I will take you to your favorite Chinese restaurant. So I'm going to relax. I said, well, I didn't even know what to say because my emotions was so okay, continue on our drive to the hospital.
We got to the hospital, we packed, I got in, went to the doctor.
Yes.
And
they said we should go and do the test.
I think he said, after asking you all the questions, when was your last cycle? He said that you were supposed to have seen it like, I think a week before or more than that. And I said, okay, do the test. We went out, got the test done. When the test result was ready, we came back to the doctor.
Yes.
He said
we should wait 20 minutes. It was the longest 20 minutes of my life.
So, when we came in and the guy, apparently, I think it was a young doctor.
Yes, a new one.
He didn't know our history. So, when he just said it casually that, well, madam, you are pregnant.
The way he said,
so I'm going to write case for. So, he was talking and we were looking at each other like, he noticed that we were quiet because we were looking at each other.
I was crying. That, number one, when he said, the way he said, he just said, by the way, pregnant.
By the way,
you are pregnant.
So I was now like, looking at my wife like,
I didn't know when tears started coming from. And my husband, you just had this big smile.
Yeah, I just smiled. I was happy. I was really happy. Because before then, there was no sign of pregnancy at all. So at least let's even have some relief, some good news. So when the guy now noticed that, the doctor noticed that we were quiet, we didn't say anything. I was like, oh, have you guys been waiting for long?
No, he went to the front of our file.
Yes, so now went to the history in the file. I think, probably now saw all the tests that were done.
That we were waiting.
So that was when I done on him that, okay.
I'm sorry, let me give you a moment.
I didn't know that.
Let me give you guys a moment. Congratulations. Let me give you a moment. He now left. When he left, there was no reason for it because we couldn't even talk. You were just opening your teeth. That's what I
was just smiling.
He couldn't close his mouth.
I was so happy.
He didn't say anything.
I wanted to scream, but when hospital, so I couldn't scream. I couldn't shout. So I was just holding your hand like, okay, let's just leave this place. Let's just go. And anyway, as soon as we got out, and I said, look, let's go straight to church.
Yes.
The hospital was about 10-15 minutes drive from our church. I said, let's go to the altar and go and pray and go and thank God and seal this pregnancy. So as we were about driving into the church, I was telling my husband, I said, don't smile.
Don't smile.
Don't smile. Don't laugh.
You said don't smile.
No, don't tell anybody.
Don't so that people will not. As if it is us that you will be looking at.
Let us go straight to the altar. So
we're not
trying to keep a very straight face, trying to act normal, I'm
sure you would have looked awkward. They would just be looking at us like,
also simple. We tried to look And luckily for us, it wasn't the service day, so there were many people around apart from the church staff, the security men at the gates, a few people in the compound and all. So we went straight to the altar, we knelt down, we started thanking God, we were just singing, just worshiping, worshiping the Lord, and we now prayed, gave thanks to God.
The first person we told.
Then, who was the first person we told?
Pastor.
Okay.
Pastor Wale Olaji. I think he was the first person. We called him on the phone and we told him.
He was happy. He prayed for us. And I told my wife, "You are not doing any work again." But in fact, before, I didn't wait for any doctor to put her on bed rest. I put her on bed rest. Said, go and lie down. I don't want to hear.
And I took that word, bed rest, literally.
I know. She didn't want to cook again.
I really enjoyed myself.
She didn't want to cook. I didn't even bother myself.
My husband sponsored me that period. He was like, they could help me carry my legs, He just says, no.
Everything she wanted.
When he's going to when he's going to work, he will make sure everything is by my side, everything that we need throughout the day, everything will be there, and I will just lie there. And I will wait for you to come back from work to take it from there, It was just an awesome time.
Started monitoring everything. First trimester. After that first trimester.
We didn't tell anybody. We decided
not to tell anybody.
Apart from our pastor.
We didn't tell anybody initially.
We didn't tell anybody, not any of our family members.
Nobody.
We just decided to keep it to ourselves, just like Elizabeth did.
Yeah.
Elizabeth and Zachariah, they didn't tell anybody. So we kept it to ourselves until the 5th month, I think.
Yeah, after the first trimester, that was when I started contemplating.
We told people 5th month. We told people. We told our parents.
Yeah, so
our parents first.
Before
siblings
and other family members.
Yes.
And even church members too.
We didn't announce.
No, those in church, those who were close to you.
Suspected because I ran away. I stopped doing what I used to do.
The guys in the bookshop where you normally walk after service.
Then what gave me away again was when I cut my hair. I don't know, that time pregnancy can be funny. I just didn't like my hair again. I didn't want to go to the salon to be making my hair. And my husband was the carpenter. The first person that saw me with low cut said, "Who is the carpenter that helped you cut your hair?"
I put scissors. I cut her hair by myself.
I said, "It's my husband because he wasn't straight." Sister, who is the carpenter that cut this hair for you? I said, "It's my husband." And then I started losing weight and people were like, "What's wrong with this woman?" Because I was throwing up. And another thing about that, every time I hear that somebody gets pregnant, I'll go and interview the person. Like, "How did you find out that you were pregnant?" And they will tell me, "Oh, I just woke up, I just started throwing up." And I will say, "One day, I will start throwing up." They say, "I just noticed that I started spitting." I will say, "One day I will start spitting." And I began to call all those things to myself. And trust me, that's why you should be careful what you say when you are believing God for something. Everything I said, I thought I was confessing in faith that everything, all the throwing up,
all the
body sickness,
all that, everything she did.
I just...
so when did you start eating bones?
Are you the interviewer that...
I suffered though, honestly. I suffered. Anyway, we were pregnant together, so...
There was one time I was craving... what they call it, they said it's brisket bone. We call it biscuit bone.
Back home, we call it brisket bone. Every day, I'll have to go and look for where to get that thing. I have to go.
It wasn't only that, and then there was a particular malt that I was drinking. Amstel.
And she won't drink it like that. She can spend the whole day drinking. She'll take a sip and leave it. And cover it.
And it must not be another malt. I can't take Martina. I can't take any other. It must be Amstel.
It was Amstel. And there was a time that Amstel was scarce.
Yes.
I had to go and start looking for Amstel.
All over Lagos.
I had to go and look for Amstel. In fact, there was a particular place I had to book. I told the woman that once you get yourself, please, I think I paid her ahead.
Yes.
To just keep a carton or two for me.
And she gave you some bottles.
And I think she gave me some extra bottles.
No, she gave you some bottles to take away because she didn't have. So she said you should take, when you explained your situation,
I had to explain to the woman
she kept saying that why can't you buy
I
Mortina?
needed-
Why
because,
can't you buy
I mean,
this?
yeah, because there was Malta Guinness, there was Mortina,
And she was
there
like,
were so many other
why
brands.
can't you buy this? Why
I had to explain to her that
so you had no choice.
my oga at home, if I bring any other malt, she will not drink.
She said, oh, okay. So she had to go and look
understood.
for bottles, like the Amstel bottles. She looked for 3 bottles or something, or 2, and gave you and said that immediately they supply, then she will call you on phone. It was a wonderful experience. It was. So how were you feeling throughout that period? You were just watching me, watching the child grow inside of me.
It was nice, and I just kept praying throughout that period. Lord, no miscarriage, nothing must happen. It got to a stage, I had to tell God that, look, nothing must happen. I don't know if I'll be able to.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll be able to take it. If anything happened to that pregnancy.
This is your strong faith that you have always had. You don't think you'll be able to?
I don't think I'll be able to handle it if anything went wrong.
And we had a scare.
Yeah, there was a time after all the scan. There was a time the baby stopped moving. We had to go to the hospital.
And they said they couldn't
they
get
said
the
they couldn't find the heartbeat.
And that
there was no heartbeat.
That the baby was down.
Blah. That day, I didn't know whether to cry. I just didn't.
No, they didn't tell us. Oh, they told you, but you didn't tell me.
They told you.
And I was in pains. I didn't know that was contraction. I was in pain. And I kept telling them they should give me painkiller. I was begging them that this pain is too much. And there was a favorite nurse that I had then. She said she went outside and she was crying because when she saw all the results that this woman has lost this baby, she was crying. My husband will go outside, they will tell him all that, he will come inside with a strong faith and say, no, don't worry. They say you should just sleep, that when you wake up. I said, I can't sleep with this pain. What are they saying? He said, nothing. That is okay, it's alright. I didn't know that they've told you. And lo and behold, I slept. The following day, the
doctor came. They did.
And they were supposed to do the D&C.
Yeah.
And he said before he brings out the Victors, what do they call it? That he has to do another scan. And thank God for that doctor.
They did the scan and there was the heartbeat.
He said, what did you say was wrong with this baby? There's nothing. That was when I knew that they said something was wrong with my baby. I was like, did they say something was wrong with my baby? He said, there's absolutely, the baby is in the position that the baby is supposed to be. The baby is this, the baby is jumping, the baby is breathing. Thank God they had the pictures and the reports. When he now looked at it, he was like, this is a miracle. And that was how God gave us back our child. I think that's why one of the reasons why she's the way she is right now. So we thank God for that. So finally, Pastor T, looking back, how do you think this waiting season has helped us in our marriage, shaped our marriage?
Well, I think it has strengthened our faith.
Yes.
It has made us trust God more.
Yes.
Because there were other issues we had, other things we were also trusting the Lord for, business, work, other things, So it strengthened our faith more. It pushed me to commit more in my work with God. It pushed me to commit more. And I remember that day that some sisters in church called me, not to my face, that pastor that has no child. And each time I remembered that and I see what God has done.
Yes.
It just makes me, every time I smile and I know that I use my story to encourage others that if God can do it for me, for my wife and I, He will do yours for you.
Yes. So
I think it's really strengthening our faith. So each time we had challenges in other areas, we always remember what we went through to.
So finally, what would you say to other men who are in similar season right now? They are watching you right now. What will you say to them? They've been praying, and they are not yet seeing results.
My encouragement to them will be to, one, hold on to God. Trust God that He will come through. And in the meantime, whatever it is we can do medically, there's nothing wrong in doing so. Like we said earlier, I'm not against IVF. But I just felt that in my own situation, I didn't have a leading to do IVF. So that was why. Not that I have anything against. IVF is a good procedure. There's nothing wrong with IVF.
A lot of
people have been blessed by that. There's also
IUI. I think we did IUI.
We did IUI multiple times, but I just didn't feel like we should do IVF, and I didn't have that leading to do so. But whatever it is you can do, whether it's IVF, IUI, pray about it. If you feel good, if you have peace in your heart to do it, go ahead and do it. And I want to encourage the men to go and test yourself. Let's stop assuming it's the woman that is infertile. A lot of men today too are infertile. And there is treatment for all these things, no matter, even if they've told you that. I know a brother in our church back in Lagos gave a testimony. Gave his own personal testimony. He said he had gone to many hospitals, both in Nigeria and outside the country. And they told him that he had no sperm count. No, nothing, not low. No, NO. But when he met our senior pastor then, and he told him the kind of dreams, he said every month, when his wife is ovulating, he would have a dream. And in that dream, he would see a woman come to him and would press him down, a dark shadow, and molest him sexually in the dream. And so the senior pastor gave him the prayers to pray. He went through a lot of deliverance sessions. And lo and behold, his sperm count, from no sperm count, he now had low sperm count. So with that, they were able to do IVF, himself and his wife. And to the glory of God, today they have triplets who are now teenagers. So there's no problem, there's no medical issue or spiritual problem that God cannot solve. So go for all the tests you need to go for, check yourself. If it's a medical problem, there are treatments available. If it's not a medical problem, it's not medical, you've done your tests, everything seems okay, then this is strictly spiritual. Even
with the medical problem, so you still need to pray.
You still need to pray anyway, but at least you'll be able to identify the problem. And once a problem is properly diagnosed, you know that it's
medically or spiritually,
it's 50% solved. Once you know what the problem is, then you can attack the problem. So I think, so just hold on to God, and in due season, God will do it.
Yes. And we believe God that the testimony he just shared with the couple that now have triplets, they are also going to be here one of these days to share their testimony with you on this podcast. Finally, how did it feel holding your baby?
I can't describe how it felt.
When they gave you that baby too.
I can't describe how it felt. Honestly, I can't describe it.
It was just a moment.
Yeah,
that was the wonder.
Yes.
That was when you was waiting.
Joy. Even if I say it was a joy, it's still an understatement.
Yes.
The feeling it's not something I can describe, that I can explain,
So on that note, we have come to the end of today's episode. Waiting on God, I just want to end with this. Waiting on God is never a wasted time. The time you are waiting on God is never a wasted time. It's preparation for the wonder He is about to reveal. What felt like delay was actually a divine design. In our own case, what felt like delay to us was actually a divine design by God. Thank you for staying tuned. God bless you, and I see you again in the next episode. Keep waiting. Your testimony is sure. In Jesus' name. Amen.